Now if you see the model name, what was it? Like 100. Now do you have the values grouped? Now, if you want to prove that, what you have to do is, if you go to the output, see if you add up all the values of sport 100, that is the result you would get in there, 5760. So I am not able to do drill down explicitly on model name because it is complete. It's an attribute of what? Product keys. So let's say now it is an attribute, but I would like to do drill down on it. My user wants to drill down on the model name also. What is the modeling changes I need to do backend to get that out? Okay. Now look at this. So that's where we have a concept called navigational attributes. What are the attribute we have? We can set that as navigational attribute. How do I do this? Now look at this. Go to product key and say what? Change. Go to attributes. Now which one do you want? Model name, right? Now what is the button here? Navigational attribute on off. Okay. So I want to enable this attribute as navigational attribute. Switch that on. You can say text work here automatically takes the text, and it forms this technical name automatically for the navigational attribute. What is it? Product key underscore ZMXD something. So now it starts formulating another table called X table. Let me activate. Error in the activation. What was the problem? It's blocked by conversion. 1 second. Product key, so change. It's saying logged. I don't see any log. Change. But I don't see any lock on this. So we have set that as navigational attribute. Go to master text. You see there is another table formed as what? X. Now what happens actually? When you make an attribute as navigational attribute, what happens? For this attribute, it starts filling the SIDs first. Even though it is attribute, it starts filling those SIDs. So if you see attribute, what is this? Model name. Till now we will not have SIDs in it. Now it starts filling the SIDs for this also. Look at this. Good one. Not filled properly. Okay, but if you go to X table, does it have data in it? Okay, so now look at this. The X table and all these are not filled, right? There is some concept called repairing objects. Once the object is created, you changed it, right? So that's where you go something called repairing of objects. Actually, the number of records in P, how many we have? 607. And we should have same set of records, number of records in X also. I'll tell you what is X, but there's only one record. It is not filled properly. What you do then is, we repair the info object. So how do you repair? There is a T code, what? RS, RV, for just testing, and because that is a bug, system will fix it up automatically. Okay. So, or one more thing is, we should delete data and then reload everything again. When you reload, it starts filling again. But without reloading, I want that to be filled. Okay. So mass data test. Okay. Look at this. Compare size of P with what? X and Y tables. Now drop down this. For which info object you want it to compare? This info object. Say OK and say execute. You can right click on this test. Now there is a problem here. Okay. So I'll say now select this and say what? Correct error. So system has to fix this out. Again there is a problem. This one. Why compare characteristic product key size of X, Y does not fit P and Q. Okay. Are not consistent. 601. Reconstruct X and Y was terminated with an error. Why it was terminated? Reconstruction. Let me construct again. Actually, I got a fix ante when I say, now look at this. If when you right click on this test and set description, it will tell you the P and X have to be same. If it's not same, use this test to correct it. I'll just drop this. Product key is mine, transfer, and say what? Execute. Now there is a problem. Now I'm trying to say fix this. Correct error. Yes. Continue. The following tables of characteristics must be reconstructed. X and Y. Yes. It has to be done. The green dipole automatic display log. Or it is fixed. Let's see. This doesn't show up or something. It is 7.4. So records. It's saying it's not. Cannot. 210. Okay, some records have come at least. Okay. Actually, now if you go to the model name, if you go to the SI table of model name, but okay, but the X table contents. It's not filling. SID 0000. 1 second, boss. We'll try to fix it. Actually, fix and draw only. So what I'll do is I'm deleting the transaction data in the queue. Okay. Delete master data. Don't delete text. Just deleting SIDs also. But if you need to delete master data, I need to delete drop down transaction, otherwise I will not be able to do this. Close. Now if you go to maintain master data, so you only have the text, so I will load the attributes again. So I anyhow have it in my PSA, so I can run the DTP bus. Or at PSL on I can just run only DTP, so it just brings it back. same date I'm reloading. Now if you go to this add object, now let's see the X table. Now do you get the 607 records? Now you see, still it is not referring the why. One second, delete. I will drop all this. It is still not actually what happens. So you have model name, right? If it has to generate SIDs for the model name, then use those SIDs in the next step. Then only you get the link. Now it is not doing that. So I've dropped everything. Let me just say change text first. Let me switch out off, switch on. So navigation attribute is formed, then activate. Do one thing. Let me switch it off first. Activate the info object. Let me switch it on, text for char, and so activate it again. Good. Now let me go to manage, delete the bad request. Let me run the DDP. Now let me go to this table and see that what is this X table. It is fine now. 607. The SID is still SID is 0. See the attribute model name. Now there are SIDs. Now let's see. Okay, boss, fine. Because there are 607 products, but the model name are only 120 because it is duplicate. There are multiple products with the same model name. Okay, but when I made this as navigational attribute, look at this. Now concentrate. It forms another table called X bus. Okay, what do we have? General schema is what? F table is connected to dimension table. Dimension table is connected to what? SID table, and from there master data bus. Now I have one of the attributes which I would like to use it for drill down. So I have made it as navigational attribute. Then what it does, even though it is attribute, now in your case, even though it is attribute, it will still generate SIDs for it. Okay. Then the SID table SID generate JC. Then in the X, it will form a table called X table. X table for a product, whatever. Where do you get the SID table of product? First tell me this one. So now you know what is the SID of a product, right? Say for product key 1, what is it? 1717 atle unda. Now let's me go there. Now what it changes in the X table will maintain for SID table of this product. Okay, it link up what is the SID of the model name. Your X table will link the SID of your product versus SID of model name. It says SID is 1. What is the SID of your product? For this, the product key is 1. For this, we need to get this out. Let me just remove this. The analytic model name, I can just say sort descending. Now, what does it say? 120. Now, look at this. You have an SID of product 456, which indicates what? Product key is 456, and 456 indicating 120 SID of what? Model name. So all the when you make it as navigational attribute, generate SIDs for it, and SID of the navigational attribute is linked to the SID of your product in the X table. So with that, we are able to get the drill down bus. Inka 120 and what is product was 456 120. I'll link this up. Look at this. Product like SID which is 120. What is 120? 456. Now what I'm trying to do. Now look at this. If I go to the product, tell me what is about 456. What is model name? Women's tights. Okay. Now go back. Now I'll go to the SID table of what? Model name. Model name SID lo. If I give it as now what? I want to see it for 120. What is this? For the navigation attribute, first it will generate SID. When you make it as navigation attribute, generate SIDs in the SID table. Then the SID table of your navigation attribute is linked to your main characteristic in the X table. So now in the cube below fact table is connected to dimension table. Dimension table is connected to S table as well as X table. Through X, it link up to the navigation attribute value also. If you look at schema, I don't know, did I make sense or not? List cube. So list schema. F table connected to what? Dimension 2, which is a product. Expand this. It is connected to what? Apart from X, is it also connected to X also? X will have SID of your product versus SID of your navigation attribute. So now go to dimension table. From the dimension ID, you know SID of the product. As let's say as 456. Now it goes to the X table. For 456, what is the model SID? 120. Then it goes to the model name, converts that 120 to what? Women's night. Women's tights or something. Clear this? Did you understand this? No. So now let's see that effect now. So if you need to see that effect, do I need to load the transaction data again? But actually in the real time you really don't have to delete this in the cube and do. As soon as you make navigation, this is a general error in the production. Generally what happens? First you build a master data and transport it to production bus. Later with the new requirements of the user, you keep converting those attributes as navigation attributes. Then they don't do anything, they transport the change to production. Now we are supporting. When they do transport them, when they are doing some reporting, they say no SID value found, no SID, you will get those errors. Now when I go back and see, it is a navigation attribute. Now then I start comparing P and X. Number of records in P, number of records in X should match always. When there is inconsistency, what I do, generally I go to RSRV, I use a test and say check the error. If there is error, I will say fix it. When I fix it, it has to fill those SIDs automatically. It call ante. Okay, system it has to fill in. Since it was not doing as workaround, what I have done is I want to delete that master data and then loading was. So if I need to delete master data, when this transaction doesn't allow me to delete. So what I did, I dropped the transaction data, then I dropped my master data and then reloaded it so that it was generating the SIDs again. But real time master reload just some prasari. If I need to reload a product master, my product master would be used in 100 cubes first. Will you go about deleting all the 100 cubes and then delete master and reload? Does it make sense? No. You would do repairing from RSRV. You compare these entries of P and X, doesn't match up, and if you say fix there, correct error, correct jail actually. It should do that. Okay. Now.
So what would be the definition of
navigation? Yeah. Let's say you have an attribute bus. When you have an attribute and you want that attribute to act as characteristic of a cube in the reporting. See now, product key is a characteristic in a cube, but model name is not a characteristic in the cube. It is only acting as attribute. But model name is an attribute, but I want it to act as if a characteristic in the cube. అంటే రిపోర్టింగ్లో క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ మీద అయితే డ్రిల్ ఆన్ చేయగలుగుతాను, యాట్రిబ్యూట్ అయితే చేయలేను కదా. క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్తో నువ్వు ఏం చేయగలుగుతావో యాట్రిబ్యూట్ మీద కూడా నేను అవన్నీ చేయగలగలను. In the reporting, whatever I am able to do with this characteristic of my cube, say product key, customer key, all these are my characteristics in the cube which are directly connected to my dimension table. Whatever you can do with this, I would like to do the same thing with attribute also. If I need to do this, I need to set that attribute as navigation attribute. When you want your attribute to act not really, it act as a characteristic in my cube in the reporting. Cube lo characteristic unnatuga acting chestunnadi, but it is still stored in what? Mass data only. Drill down, restriction, filtering ani cheyochu. Whatever you can do on a characteristic of a cube, you can do all those with this navigation attribute. Okay, and first thing is you should enable it here. Done. And once you enable the property navigation attribute on there, you remember how did I do? How did I do this? I just enable the button here, navigation attribute, and then enable the checkbox, text for care, so it takes the name automatically. And if you go to right, it does give you technical name here of the navigation attribute version. Product key underscore model name. Okay. And once you do the setting, I must do setting in the cube. Go to the change of the cube. When you go to the cube, Do I have product key here used here? Yes. When you have some characteristic used, if you go to navigation attributes, you will get to see all the navigation attributes of that product key here, which are enabled. You will have to switch on off button here. You will have checkbox on. I need on this out. Only then it acts as a characteristic in the queue in the reporting. If I go to reporting, I will see both the versions. One is attribute version and navigation attribute version, both versions. So now let me get on. Let me close this. అందుకే నేను అన్నిసార్లు అడిగిన ఫస్ట్ బేస్ అర్థమైతే ఓకే నౌ లుక్ అట్ దిస్ ఓకే ఇప్పుడు ప్రోడక్ట్కి మోడల్ నేమ్ ఉంది కదా వెన్ ఎక్స్పాండ్ దిస్ ప్రోడక్ట్ డైమెన్షన్ నౌ చూడు 3 కనుక అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ప్రోడక్ట్ డూ యూ ఆల్సో గెట్ సంథింగ్ మోడల్ నేమ్ హియర్ ఎట్లా వస్తుంది బస్ యాజ్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ ఇన్ ద మోడల్ నేమ్ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ క్యూబ్లో కాదు ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ నావిగేషన్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ చూడు రెండు ఉంటాయి అట్రిబ్యూట్లో మోడల్ నేమ్ ఉంటుంది ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది రెండింటి టెక్నికల్ నేమ్ చూడు కావాల్సి ఉంటాయి దీని టెక్నికల్ నేమ్ ZMDL నేమ్ దీని టెక్నికల్ నేమ్ ఉంది బస్ Z ప్రోడక్ట్ కీ _ ZMDL నేమ్ అంటే వాట్ ఇస్ దిస్ ఇది నావిగేషన్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ ఓకే నౌ ఇన్ ద రిపోర్ట్ వాట్ ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ యూజింగ్ దిస్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ ఐ స్టార్ట్ యూజింగ్ వాట్ సో ఇప్పుడు నీకు అర్థం కాలేదు దీనికి డిఫరెంట్ ఇక్కడే అర్థమైపోవాలి అక్కడ వరకు అవసరం లేదు ఇదేమో లైన్ దాని కింద నుంచి వస్తుంది అవునా అంటే దాని డిపెండెంట్ ఇది మాత్రం పక్క నుంచి వస్తుంది ఇది ఎట్లా వేరే క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ ఇది కూడా సపరేట్ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ లాగానే అంతే ఓకే బస్ సో రెండు పెడతాను రెండింటికి అర్థమవుతుంది నీకు డిస్క్రిప్షన్ అర్థం కావాలి ఏం చేస్తాను మోడల్ నేమ్ NAV అంటారు అంటే ఏంది ఇది నావిగేషన్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ ఇది మోడల్ నేమ్ నార్మల్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ రెండింటికి డిఫరెంట్ సో in the reporting you will get to see both the versions of it okay the reporting will difference now what I'll do I go back to RSRT run your query I see product key I see model name which is attribute I also see model name which is navigation attribute now let's say I remove product key from the drill down but do I still have this in the existence physical existence still I am able to drill down individually అంటే అది కూడా క్యూబ్లో సపరేట్ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ లాగా యాక్టింగ్ చేస్తుంది ప్రోడక్ట్ కీ ఎట్లో దీనికి అంతే వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ కెన్ డూ విత్ ప్రోడక్ట్ కీ విచ్ ఇస్ యాక్చువల్ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ ఆఫ్ మై క్యూబ్ I can do same thing with this model name which is a navigation attribute also it acts as a characteristic in the reporting క్యూబ్లో నీ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ ఎట్లా రిపోర్టింగ్లో వాడతామో నావిగేషన్ అట్రిబ్యూట్ కూడా అట్లే వాడవచ్చు అన్నట్టు ఓకే wait now what I should do is if I go down మంది కదా వాళ్ళు మరి I don't know where was it కింద ఆడాము సారీ స్పోర్ట్ 100 ఎంత వచ్చింది 5530,479 మన ఎక్సెల్ ఎంత సంథింగ్ ఈజ్ మిస్సింగ్ అంటే ఆ మోటార్ 100కి అగ్రిగేట్ అయినప్పుడు ఎంత ఉందో ఆ వాల్యూ రావాలి దట్స్ వాట్ క్లియర్ ఇన్ దిస్ వాట్ ఐమ్ సేయింగ్ నౌ వాట్స్ యువర్ డౌట్ why do you want it act antena
for model name of attribute we don't have SID
initially if it is normal attribute okay it will not have it but when I make that as navigation attribute it will generate SIDs for that also and link that SID table to your product table with the help of what X table and X table is connected to dimension table of my queue SID table of model name is connected to product key and the product key SID in the X table and X is connected to dimension and that enables you to enables the model name to act as a characteristic in the report ఎందుకంటే డైమెన్షన్ టేబుల్ నుంచి ప్రోడక్ట్ కీ తెలుస్తుంది SID for 459 what is the SID of model name can I know from the X table of 456 product key SID of model name తెలుస్తుందా 120 if I convert 120 it makes me that value model name value
Can we say that navigation attribute acts as a primary key? Can we say?
It acts as a characteristic as if it is a characteristic in the queue.
so as of right now the X table that links a within dimension table
X table will link to dimension table because your dimension table will have dimension ID and SID of product key okay because product key is assigned to the dimension
so based on the product key
then
with the SID value
exactly in the see fact table you will get dimension ID then it will go to the dimension of product for the dimension ID you will get the SID of what product key 456 అని వస్తుంది now it will go to X table say for SID product for 56, what is SID of model name? 120, that is what it gets in X table. Then it goes to the SID table of model name and say for 120, what is the name? And that name is coming into what? Into reporting. So now do we have a direct link to this characteristic model name? That's why it is acting as a characteristic in the cube. It is not a physical characteristic in the cube. It is only stored. Still the model name values are stored as attribute of product key only in the P table of product. But still it acts as if it is a characteristic in the cube.
So regardless of how many attributes
You want to make everything as navigation attribute, I don't
the
mind.
size will still remain the same for this cable.
X table. He is asking, can I make everything as navigation? Make requirement to yes. Obviously, because you're involving extra gen, obviously, but I'm able to get the required analysis for me, right? Any doubt? Doubt em leda? రాలేదా?